What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to Pokemon Paranormal, the series where I open up Pokemon booster packs and at the same time I read people's true scary stories that they post online. So if you like either of those or both, go ahead and hit that like button because that's exactly what we're about to do. We're gonna open up some Sword and Shield packs. There's a couple secret rares, couple hyper rares that we'd like to pull. I'll put them on the screen right now. Let's start with this Lapras pack. So I'm gonna open this pack, we're gonna do the card trick, and then I'm gonna read this story that I have pulled up for you guys. Again, these are true scary stories. I go online and I look for like creepy threads where people start posting things that have happened to them. Yeah, if I wasn't filming this video, this is basically what I find myself doing a lot of times. So I figure, why not? I just dropped the pack. I figure, why not do both at the same time? Also, we give away the codes for the online game, so if anybody wants that. So the card trick for the Sword and Shield pack, a lot of you know, it's going to be 4 cards. And we're going to have an energy. So we got a fire energy, and let's go ahead and read this story, you guys, because this one looks kind of crazy. Posted 4 years ago. About 10 years ago, I took my dog out for a short walk. We lived in a rundown but historic part of town. Old houses that are either beautifully maintained, abandoned, or generally going to shit. It's funny. There was a good mix of people in that neighborhood. Anyway, I'm walking the dog. I get about 3 or 4 houses down and stop at the corner while Pony sniffs some grass or whatever. So I'm guessing Pony is the dog's name. I turn around and suddenly there's a man standing way too close to me. No idea where he came from. I'm usually very aware of my surroundings, and Pony hated the strange man. Alright, so kind of halfway in that comment right there. So let's go ahead and get halfway in this pack. Fire energy. Great ball. That card looks dope. Right on? Yeah, right on. Right on. It's right on. Ball toy. I don't know what kind of Pokemon that is. Do one more. So Galarian Ponyta. Alright, so let's stop there. Let's see what's up. So the dog hated the strange man. I stumbled a few steps back. I immediately had this absolute bone-chilling sick feeling. He asked me, "Is that a pit bull?" I replied, "Yes." Then he said, "Oh, she'll protect you." At this point, my body flooded with adrenaline and I turned to run back to my house. I saw my mom standing on the porch and thought to yell to her. She had no reason to come out on the porch. I honestly think she had a bad feeling. I don't know what good me yelling really did, but it was all I could think to do. Like, hey, look, I'm over here. I've never had such a flight response before or since that encounter. Yeah, honestly, like, reading it maybe sometimes is not like that scary, but really imagine being in that moment. Like, I think I'm someone that's pretty aware of their surroundings too, and if somebody just appears out of nowhere, that's already kind of crazy. And like, also, what is this dude's goal? You know, and also the dog's instinct too, like, you know, dogs kind of have a sixth sense for shit like that. So that's crazy. Let's finish this pack. Okay, we got our reverse holo. Lucky egg. Cool. So that was our first pack, you guys. That was our first story. Alright, you guys, we got the next story pulled up, and we got our next pack right here. It's gonna be a Snorlax. Again, Sword and Shield pack. So let's open this up. Card trick. Should have a energy. Alright, so let's go ahead and read this. When I was about 6 or 7, we had this neighbor that would regularly try to invite me over for cake and candy. That's already scary. Or to play with the dogs he owned. My parents didn't trust him, so of course, invites were declined. Years later, we learned that he regularly raped his 12-year-old stepdaughter and got her pregnant. Jesus Christ. We could just end it there. That's frightening, but there's a little bit more. When he went to trial, it was revealed that there were 4 other young girls in his past that he had abused. The guy used to decorate his house like a haunted mansion every Halloween, and kids would go crazy for it. I'm so glad that my parents wouldn't allow me to go there. Jesus Christ. Yeah, talk about some horrific shit. That was a short one, but that was insane. Wow, a little speechless on that one. Let's go ahead and talk about these cards real quick. We got an energy, So there's actually a secret rare version of this. There's a gold version of this card that's maybe worth like 30-50 bucks. So we just pulled the regular one. Again, I'm gonna try to look at prices of all these cards. Whoa. Okay, we got a Beatty. There's also a secret rare and a hyper rare of Beatty, which I hope to get that too. We got a Hitmonlee. You know, shout out Bruce Lee. We got a Nickit. Ball toy again. Alright, so we'll stop there. We're halfway in the pack. Let's start this other story. It says, when I was 16, my parents went out of town for a weekend. It was actually pretty sweet because I got to be king of the castle for the weekend. So I get home that Friday night and just dick around, internet, video games, etc. and start watching TV around dusk. The way our living room was set up was that there was a set of glass doors right next to the television that looked out to the back porch / backyard. The backyard was surrounded by ivy that grew on a hill around a 45-degree angle. So I'm just mindlessly channel surfing and I see some movement outside. At first I just dismiss it thinking it's a bird or a neighborhood cat or something, but then I notice that whatever is moving is way bigger than a bird or a cat. I go and put my face near the glass and stare into the backyard, and there is some dude just crouching in the ivy looking into the house. Our eyes meet and he has somewhat of an oh shit moment and bolts out of our yard. Yeah dude, that's crazy. That is scary. If that happened to me, dude, damn. I'd call the cops straight up. I'd be like, yo, some dude is fucking tripping out here. Alright, let's finish this pack. Krabby. Really nice artwork, by the way. That looks really nice. Colors are so nice on that. I like Minchino. Minchino's dope. Has a dope name. Okay, got a reverse holo. Sandaconda. I'm more of a Ekans person, you know, but that's cool. So under that comment, that story we just read, I guess somebody's saying they went through something similar. So let's check that out. Alright, so comment right below that story, somebody replied to it. He's like, man, my house was set up in a very similar way and I had a very similar story. I grew up scared shitless that someone would come up to that glass door at night. We had vertical blinds to block out any prospective peepers. But one night, when my folks were out of town, I was late watching TV on the couch and all of a sudden there was 2 loud knocks right on the glass. Of course my blood goes cold, but I quickly think that maybe one of my friends who knows my parents are out of town snuck out and came over. I woke up the courage to go slide open one of the blinds to peek out, fully expecting to see one of my friends. Standing there is some frothy looking guy with a mustache looking in at me. He pulls out the door but it's locked. I booked my ass straight out the front door, ran straight to my aunt's house a few doors down. We called the police and they said there were so many footprints in the snow that he had to have been circling around the house for hours. There was even some footprints on the roof by the master bedroom. Wow. You know, this might not be paranormal, but this is crazy. This is like straight up home invasion when you're home alone, which might be worse. Alright guys, we got our next story pulled up and we got our next pack. We got a Zacian Sword Shield. I used to take care of a developmentally disabled man in a community protection program. He had to be kept away from people because of his sudden violent outbursts. His parents were rich and bought him an old farmhouse on 10 acres or so, about 4 miles out of town, so that he could be away from the public and not forced into a psych ward. For 4 years I worked there on a 56-hour shift, come in on Sunday evenings and leave Wednesday afternoon. There were 2 of us on these shifts and we were both supposed to be there an entire 56 hours. But because we were the most senior trainers on staff, we'd take turns going home on 1/2 of the nights. After 3 years of being in that house, I had become comfortable with it, despite it being so isolated and overall kind of creepy. I would always stay up and watch TV until around midnight. My client was always locked in his room around 8 p.m. One night, about 12:15 a.m., I turned the TV off and pulled the covers over myself to try and get some sleep on the nastiest futon ever. There was one window in the staff room and it faced the back of the property and was about 6 feet off the ground. I had just started drifting asleep when... Alright, so let's go ahead and look at these cards before we go on. Galvantula. Krabby. Zigzagoon. Okay, I'll stop here. So it faced the back of the property and was about 6 feet off the ground, talking about the window. I had just started drifting to sleep when I heard the most blood-curdling woman scream from right outside the window. I popped up so fast that I nearly lost consciousness and had to steady myself in the doorway while the scream continued then faded away. I grabbed a flashlight from the laundry room and threw open the back door, illuminating the area outside the window, and there was nothing. I ran along the perimeter of the house and saw nothing. I watched the sun come up the next morning, desperately glued to the TV, trying to distract myself from what had happened. All of the people I worked with were much older than me, and there was no good reason to play a prank like that in the middle of a January in Eastern Oregon. I'm sure there's an explanation, but it bothers me to this day. Wow. Alright, that's crazy. That's spooky for sure. Let's finish this pack. That dog looks tight. Reverse hollow. Ooh, okay. Decent pull. I'll put the price up. These are the holographic cards you'd want to get. This is like a full art holographic. This is going in the good pile. Hopefully worth a few bucks. Alright guys, we got this Zamazenta pack. Let's go ahead and open that. We got our next story pulled up. Here's the code. Was spending the night at a friend's house as a kid around age 12-13. Parents weren't home, so we decided to go out and do some ding-dong ditching. So those that don't know, run around, hit the doorbell on homes and just run. I actually did that once. So decided to do some ding-dong ditching, get into some young angsty debauchery. We get home and it's around 1 or 2 in the morning. Cue a ringing of the doorbell. Naturally we think it's a cop or a pissed off neighbor. My friend had a small window that looked out into the front porch that you couldn't really see into from outside. So we took a peek at who's calling at such a late hour. Standing at the door was an old man in a dress and a young boy in a weird newsy outfit. Both were dressed extremely out of the period, as this was the 90s, and my friend had never seen either in the neighborhood before. We ducked because we're a bit freaked, look again, and no less than 10 seconds later, they're both gone. Nobody on the street, nobody walking away, no cars, no driving. They were just gone without a trace. We did not sleep well. That's freaky. Like, I don't know why, but just the detail of them being dressed out of the time period, that's pretty crazy. Like, what the hell? What time? At 1 or 2 in the morning? Hell no. With a kid? Chill. That's crazy. So to take my mind off that, I like to just go through these cards. So we got energy, and I'm trying to learn these dub wool. Okay. Of course I know Dig Dug, Doug Trio. Trainer card. Another Krabby. Minchino. Galarian Ponyta. Cottony. This is just a straight ball of cotton. It's not even a Pokemon. Score Bunny. So I'm gonna stop here. That story was crazy. That was like really good. Alright, so next story pulled up. When I was around 6 or 7, we had a cat that had kitten. We knew it had kittens because it was pregnant and then it wasn't anymore. The problem was that we had no idea where the kittens were. I was wondering about it and looked right at the cat, sort of thought in my mind, where are your kittens? But without using words, if that makes any sense. So he just gave it that look like, what the hell happened? Immediately the location came to mind. It was through some broken boards just above our porch that our cat could jump into from pillars on the side of the porch. I knew that they were there. I walked straight over there, climbed onto the stone pillar, and looked through the hole in the boards. The kittens were right there. I've never had a similar experience again in my life. Hey, the cat can talk, man. What's up? The cat, you know, got some telepathy skills. Alright, got our next story, but let's finish this pack. We got the Score Bunny. We got our reverse hollow, and ooh, okay. So there's a hyper rare version of this researcher, but this card is super nice. You know, it's like a female Anthony Fauci type of character. You know, like someone you can trust, someone that has the information, you know, someone that's really smart, basically. But this card is so nice. I'm not even joking. This might be my favorite card. This is like a college professor. It's like a Stanford professor just chilling with by a Poke clinic. This is dope. And again, the hollow on this is so nice. It's like all like vertical lines. Or a secret rare, something like that goes for like 50 bucks. But this is nice. This might be my favorite card I've pulled. This is dope. I really like this card. Here's the code, whoever wants it. Go ahead and use that. 1, 2, 3, 4. I was annoyed with my daughter because she hadn't cleaned her room in weeks. So when I walked by her room and saw her standing there, I assumed she was doing what I said. A few minutes later, she walked out of the shower with the towel wrapped around her and asked why I was looking at her strangely. When I asked her who was in her room, she looked scared too. I never figured out who that was, but they didn't clean up the room. She's still mad? Okay, that's creepy. That's creepy. That's like one of those doppelganger stories. So we got our next story right here. Let's go through some cards really quick. Fire Energy, Hitmonlee, Rare Candy, Lucky Egg, looks nice. Goldeen, we love Goldeen, don't we love Goldeen? Goldeen is like a straight makeup YouTuber. I have a very strong danger sense that's been proving terrifyingly correct both times I've had it. The first was when I was in high school training for cross country. I would usually run by this lake near my house, but one day I was close and got a very strong no feeling. It was like fighting against a very strong animal instinct to go any closer. I turned right around and went back to my house. When my mom commented on how short my run was, I explained to her what happened and she seemed alarmed, wondering if I had had some sort of panic attack. A few days later, police found a body in the lake. The more recent example was when I was riding the DC Metro with my partner sometime last year. We were on the orange line and needed to get off at a stop that was also on the silver line. We're on the train when all of a sudden I get this strong sense again. I told my partner about it, and though at first he was skeptical, he trusted me and we switched lines. We later found out there was a stabbing on the orange line that same night. That's crazy. Let's finish this pack. Goldeen. Take my mind off that. Score Uppy. I don't know how to say that. Okay, Reverse Hollow. And what do we got? Okay, so back to back, Cinderace and Reverse Hollow. Alright you guys, we're on the last pack again, Sword and Shield. It's gonna be a Snorlax pack, and we got some stories lined up. So let me go ahead and open this and let's get creeped out. Or maybe just me. I feel like it's just me. Here's the code, anybody that wants it. Go ahead and use that online. Card trick. Energy. Leaf Energy. First Leaf Energy. This is a nice design, just in general. This reminds me of like early iOS skeuomorphic design right here. Not me, but my twin brother. We were around 6 years old and in Central Australia with our dad and older brother. We were doing some nature walk and he fell back a bit. He then screams and runs up and catches up. He told my dad he had seen something. Later that day, we were in the town nearby and my twin pointed at a painting in an art gallery and said that the figure in it was what he had seen. My dad went into the gallery and asked the person at the counter what that figure, this is fire so far. My dad went into the gallery and asked the person at the counter what the figure in the painting was, and they said it was an aboriginal spirit that takes children who wander too far from the camp or family. Damn. Short, sweet. That's crazy. That's crazy. Alright, let's go ahead and open some of these. Again, last pack of the video. Leaf Energy. Got Nurse Joy / Pokemon Center Lady. It's not even Nurse Joy. Cool. We got some OGs in this pack. My favorite pack right here, Hitmonchan, come on. Nice art too, this dude just training. We got Hitmonlee in the back. That's crazy. Beautiful art. I don't know who that is. Krabby. Krabby likes to pop up in our packs all the time, so I'm gonna stop there because he wanted that little shout out. I was watching my parents' dog while they were out of town. My sister passed away in their house about a year prior. While I was there, I witnessed a picture of her fall off the wall. That's crazy. I would freak out right there. Then I discovered that every picture of her in the house had fallen off the wall, seemingly at the same time. They didn't keep many pictures up in general, so it was only 4 different pictures. I chalked it up to something shaking the house, even though we lived in Ohio, and I felt nothing. I went home to my apartment. Face up on my desk was a picture of my sister and me that I knew I had packed away. I don't believe in things like this, but this occurred to me at a time where I was still very much actively grieving the loss of my sister, and it hit me hard. Still can't explain it. You know, that's scary and also, you know, very thoughtful, you know, if that's like a message from beyond. Like, that's pretty nuts, man. That would scare the shit out of me though, but it's very thoughtful. My mom passed away when I was 7. Flash forward to middle school. We were at this band clinic thing at my mom's old high school. Each school prepared their own piece with their bands, and then we all got the same piece to do together, if that makes any sense. Anyways, we were waiting around to get back on stage to play with everyone, and we were just chatting away as a group. I looked over at the back of the room was this woman who looked identical to my mom. Same red hair, glasses, height, everything. I caught her looking at me a few times and smiling at me. I turned to tell some of my friends about it, and by the time I looked back, she was gone, and I didn't see her after that. Also, I graduated with the French award from high school. I did my walk across the stage, obligatory photo with the department head, who I'm close with, looking out at the crowd. 3 rows behind my dad, stepmom, and aunt, I saw the same lady from before. Super eerie, but also kinda nice. Agreed. Yeah, that's scary, but like also that's insanely thoughtful. 2 similar stories back to back. Let's finish this pack, because I'm kind of freaked out. I kind of want to chill. Krabby. Who's this? Grookey. Donkey. Crazy looking donkey. Hoot Hoot. Reverse hollow. Alright. So we got to open some packs, you guys. We got to read some stories. That's where I'm gonna end it right now. I'm gonna post another one soon. So again, if you haven't yet, hit that like button, subscribe. I'm also gonna be doing a lot of giveaways for this series. So a lot of the cards or packs I open, I'm gonna just be mailing them out for free for whoever watches these videos. So to enter that, basically just like, subscribe, comment done, and maybe tell me which story you like. That's it, you guys. Peace out.